Are you serious? Are you serious? I'm going to thank Nick from New York for this great report. Also thank excuse me, Lindsey Johnson, Mike Dale, Troy of North Carolina, and just a lot, Burke McGill, just a lot of folks doing some great research this morning. Folks, after 5 weeks being shut down, the Greek stock exchange opened today, and it literally crashed. Greek stock market suffered heavy losses this morning, plunging 23% loss of value at the open of the day by noon, before recovering slightly after a 5-week shutdown brought on by fears that the country was about to be dumped from the Eurozone. One fund manager described it as a herd behavior and said few people were buying. Everybody was selling, and selling cheap. The main Athens stock index, the ATG, was down more than 18% by midday trading. And after an initial plunge, it was larger than any one-day loss experienced in history. By contrast, the broad European stock exchange, the FTS Euro First 300 index, gained slightly. So the rest of Europe went up a little, and Greece fell. And part of that is because there were people from European nations buying up Greek stocks at low prices, apparently betting on the future of a turnaround there, or maybe even a merger somehow with Greece and another nation. Or maybe Greece is getting out of the Eurozone totally. I don't know. Greece's banks have been deposited and have severely depleted, as Greeks have withdrawn their euros for fear that that would be forcibly converted into a new world dollar, and their money have no value at all. So they went and got their money as much as they could get, and what they're doing is they're using the exchange rates, and they're trying to exchange some of that euros maybe for other foreign currencies, or they're just holding them back. But it's certainly they're afraid that the banks would collapse, and then whatever money they had in there would be gone. So the panic mentality in Greece is far from over. They're living on a life support system, and Angela Merkel can pull the plug just about any time she wants to. Certainly the fears for the future are everywhere in Athens, as they are literally, I don't know what's going to happen now to their leader, Alexis Tsipras. He won the election that he was going to protect them from more strenuous austerity measures or get them out of the Eurozone, both of which he failed to do. He looked for partners. He sought out the Russians. He visited the Vatican. He tried to find a partner somewhere in the world that would help him, but nobody wanted to be the one to take them in and start over with Greece. Nobody. And they were willing to scoff it up if they fell, but nobody was going to help bail them out and pay back the euros owed to the Eurozone. So anyway, that's where we're at. Greece continues to just twist in the wind, but I'm going to tell you something. The percentage of debt in Greece compared to their assets is no different. America's percentage of debt against its assets are at about the same level as Greece's. People don't want to talk about it. The politicians in Washington don't even want to discuss it. They just keep borrowing and borrowing and borrowing, betting on what? How can you turn around a nation if you keep living on borrowed debt and borrowing more? So this is what's really happening here. It'd be interesting to see if in the first presidential debate coming up Thursday night, if anybody on that stage will address the national debt. I'm even talking about Donald Trump. I really wondered that will anyone want to stare down the debt or have a plan for an economic turnaround? Well, we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. I know one thing. The Bible tells us that the black horseman of the apocalypse is about to gallop, if not already galloping. and he has a pair of balances in his hand. And it's going to, the economic adjustment for wheat and barley, the wine and the oil, all of it, the commodities are all in the hands of the third horseman of the apocalypse. Are you saved? Greece, I think, may have just took a ride with the black horseman. I'm Pastor Paul Begley. Something biblical is going on here with the signs of the second coming of Christ. Give your life to Jesus Christ. We're almost out of time, folks. Seriously, be born again. Jesus is the way, the only way.